The only way to win is through pinfall or submission.
Y'all can make some noise. I gotta get the stuff, but I gotta go. What are you getting on me for? Little regard. Watch that. Get out of the way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to night 2 of the Ryder Herring Memorial Cup Tournament. My name is CM Burnham alongside Brian Breaker tonight to call all this action as we see the first 4 men on the, we'll call it the left bracket of the semifinals. 2 members of the Caballero cartel taking on Koko and Justin Lee. And of course, only one man can advance here, but you've got to think immediately with Caballero, who at the last WFC event in Dewey, Oklahoma, attempted a hostile takeover of the company. Now he's trying to stack the deck here in this semifinal match.
And the numbers game always plays an advantage, especially when it comes to the Caballero cartel. If you remember, many years ago, those guys created some nightmares for me.
They did indeed, yes.
So we'll see what happens here. I know I haven't seen Koko too often. Of course, Justin Lee's a veteran of the sport. I believe Koko is relatively new.
Very, very new. In fact, we were at his professional wrestling debut at the OKX event in May.
Absolutely.
So, but yes, indeed, you of course know Justin Lee a lot longer than I have, but I've been around for his entire professional career. It's been almost 20 years to the date since Justin Lee first stepped foot inside a professional wrestling ring, and he won a championship his very first match. That says a lot, and against somebody like Dexter Hardaway, who was a very experienced individual at that time.
No one's a stranger here to in WFC.
No, absolutely not. So in an experienced situation, you certainly have to give the lead here to Justin, but the numbers opportunity here clearly in the hands of Koko, or excuse me, not the Caballero cartel. I think really Koko might be the dark horse here, because if he were able to pull out the victory to overcome the advantage of the experience and the numbers, that would be a huge momentum builder for him going into the finals if that were to happen.
No doubt about it. Again, we're dealing with a 4-way match. This is not an elimination match, from what I understand. First pinfall gets the win. There are a lot of factors, and I think sometimes the biggest factor is luck and being in the right place at the right time, making sure no one's around. So we'll see what happens.
I was about to ask you, clearly you have way more experience, which is any experience at all, compared to me inside the ring in a fatal 4-way environment.
Well, and that's a good example right there. Justin Lee's hitting the ropes and Reed pulls him out. Completely changes the scenario.
So now Lee on the outside with Reed, while James and Koko inside. And this
Lee
is
just bounced off the ring.
A nice fall-away slam there by Koko.
He needs to go for a cover. That's an opportunity right there.
Again, with 2 men on the outside, Koko has a great opportunity. Oh! Tried for the senton, and James rolling out of the way. Derek James had his first professional wrestling match when he was 15 years old. He's only 20 now.
Yeah,
that's still
almost
5
becoming
years.
a veteran for a 20-year-old kid.
Absolutely. Nice go behind the round there. But James does not want to try to play the power game with Koko. Trying to get a bit of a springboard there. I don't think he really did what he wanted, but he certainly didn't want to do that.
No, I don't think he wanted that clothesline, but he got it anyway. Justin Lee's out here on the ramp. Stevie Caballero's kind of crawling over. That can't be good.
Crawling like a roach. That was what he was doing a lot last night.
He's taking his belt off.
But that's never a good sign, because when the belt comes off, it usually goes around someone's throat, and I think that's what he wants to do right now. Here comes Caballero. Oh!
Justin Lee just kicked Stevie Caballero.
Lee very familiar, and Caballero going to have an unfortunate night tonight.
Kick him again.
Some very stern words there from Mr. Lee. As Koko now driving the shoulder into the midsection of Reed. Reed, who has had his issues with Tommy Dean ever since they broke up as a tag team.
Of course, Tommy Dean, the WFC Pride champion.
We'll see him later on tonight, defending that Pride championship. But Reed now with a snapmare out of the corner for Koko, and then a kick to the face.
Going for
Lee
a cover,
now
not a bad strategy.
inside as Justin Lee makes his way to the second rope. Lee just waiting for Reed to come around and crossbody.
Very well executed there by Justin Lee. And again, biding his time. I think that's the veteran instinct here.
Up, single leg drop kick. He likes to pull those off in threes if he can. There's two. Justin going for the third one. He connects. And a big up, a European forearm there. As Irish whip, and the collision there.
So I don't know, is this Cartel Security? I've seen
This is Cartel Security, the lone remaining member of Cartel Security. Yes,
kind of fanning off.
I know he has
Derek
a
James
name.
there.
I think it's like Brandon or something like that.
I don't think it's probably.
He is really not important. No. Oh, look at that Hurricane Rana from Lee on Reed.
Nice move there from Justin Lee, but again, needs eyes in the back of his head because here comes Derek James.
Well, when one member of the Cartel goes down, the other one comes. Another one comes in. And as I was saying, trying to explain to Bob Evans last night, there's more members of the Cartel than there are referees, than there are just about anybody here in WFC. The numbers that Stevie has access to, especially after what happened to Dewey. Well, Derek couldn't quite get his footing underneath him there, but he doesn't let that throw him. Good for him.
And Derek James has a very unorthodox style, and I think sometimes too when you have a style like that in a match like this, it's kind of hard to prepare for.
Oh, gut buster.
Very well executed by Derek James here.
James now going for back suplex. James in with the cover. Justin Lee sliding in and kick out there.
And that was an interesting exchange because Reed was coming in, but he didn't attempt a pinfall break here.
Right.
Now, could we see the Caballero Cartel butt heads? Because I know they're friends, but both guys want the Ryder Cup.
As we said, there can only be one winner here, and you would think that the two of them would support themselves, but there's going to have to come a point where they, if that's true,
but this is a selfish business. Yes. I mean, it is, and it's easy to be like, oh yeah, we want the Caballero Cartel to win, but each individual guy, that's a feather in their cap. But I mean, with that being said, they're both in firm control right now. Justin Lee outside the ring and Koko
they have,
getting
and
double
they've picked the least experienced member. I don't want to call him the weakest member in the pack, but the least experienced, and they are utilizing that double team concept, that numbers advantage, as they are certainly functioning well together here as a unit.
I mean, big Stevie Caballero, I'm not going to mince any words. He's absolutely despicable. But the guy's good at what he does. I mean, I got to give it to him there.
He has a brain for this business, and he certainly has made a lot of money in this business, getting the best potential talent that he can.
And he's not spending that money on suit jackets.
Well, he doesn't spend that money on much of anything, let me tell you. Oh, Lee with a super kick.
Martial arts experience there from Justin Lee. Taking down Reed. Now he's got a hold of Derek James here.
Lee going to go for the burner breaker.
Beautifully well done. Well executed.
And Lee perhaps sensing an opportunity here as he goes for the pin, hooks the leg. Did he take too much time? Caballero.
Say, come on, what is that?
Again, no disqualifications. So Caballero saving the match for his men by yanking the referee from the ring.
I mean, this is referee's discretion, right? Why is he keeping him at ringside?
Well, again, technically in this match, he hasn't done anything illegal because there is no way to do anything illegal in a fatal four-way match.
I agree, but it's referee's discretion, right? He can say, you're out of here if he wants to. Justin Lee is
good, and I think that
there was a low blow there. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Justin rolling himself into the back, he seems to have been injured and taking himself out of the match at the moment, so that leaves essentially a triple threat match now. And that certainly has got to favor the Cartel.
Oh, without a question.
But this crowd here trying to rally behind Koko.
Koko, I'm sure you noticed too, he seemed to have a bit of a hometown reaction when he came out here. So this would be a big win for Koko if he were able to pull this off.
Oh, here comes. Oh, what's Duke Cornell doing here?
Wait, what is
Cornell.
going on?
Cornell attacking Justin Lee.
Got a version of a dragon sleeper here right on the ramp. I don't even know if the referee sees this.
That's how Cornell advanced last night to the semifinals when he used that dragon sleeper. But now he's incapacitating Justin Lee. But why is Cornell sticking his nose in this?
Very good spine buster from Koko. This could be all. Derek James is kind of out. Oh, he's back in.
But Koko didn't go for the pin.
Derek James may see an opportunity to go for a cover.
And why
what is this?
What's Caballero doing? Why is he?
Justin Lee hasn't moved since that attack.
He's not. Caballero is talking to Derek James.
Slap him, Derek. Slap him. Right now. Slap him, Derek.
It seems as though is Derek James getting his marching orders? Is that what's happening?
I don't understand. I couldn't really hear what Caballero said, but whatever it was, James now feeds Koko straight into Reed.
Payback time.
And it's backed off. Reed face first down with the stroke, and Reed hooks the leg. And we have our first semifinals.
That's not exactly how I expected that to go down, Brian.